Hello, my name is Sharon Spencer, and in this video, I am going to discuss how to be an effective facilitator. The first question we need to address is, what is a facilitator? Well, a facilitator is a person that makes a process easier. A facilitator can make a business meeting, a discussion, or a group activity easier by planning and guiding the group to meet the objectives of the event. And someday you may be asked to be a facilitator. Don't worry, if you watch this video, I will show you some helpful tips to ensure that you can be an effective facilitator in the future. So now the big question is, how can I be an effective facilitator? The first step each facilitator needs to do is figure out what objectives need to be met in the facilitation. In other words, what is the purpose of your facilitation? The facilitator should create 2 to 3 objectives to address. The objectives should be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. Objectives help the audience understand the purpose and goal for the facilitation. This is the most important step of preparing for the facilitation. The second step is to research your audience. So what is your audience like? You'll need to research the learning styles of your audience, what their average age is, how much background information they have on the topic, etc. This step is probably the second most important step of preparing for the facilitation, besides creating objectives. This is because all of the presentation materials and handouts need to be tailored to fit your audience's needs. Otherwise, the facilitation will not be so effective for your audience members. The third step is to prepare your materials and select a location for the facilitation. The materials should supplement this facilitation, not distract the audience. The location for the facilitation should be able to fit the audience comfortably, allow the audience to see the presentation easily, and ease communication for the audience members. The location should also have the necessary tools and technologies for the facilitation. The fourth step is to create the agenda for the facilitation and send out invitations with the agenda. The agenda should include a schedule of events and activities for the facilitation, as well as the times and locations for each activity or event. The fifth step is to facilitate. Open up with an overview of the agenda, ground rules, the objectives, and an icebreaker. The icebreaker is an activity to help the audience get to know each other and feel comfortable with talking with each other. Then, throughout the facilitation, make sure that everyone who wishes to speak has the opportunity, and always take their questions. Finally, you conclude with a summary of the points that were made during the facilitation and thank your audience for coming. Finally, the last step is to have the audience fill out a survey to see how the audience liked the facilitation. There is always room for improvement, so you will want the audience's feedback in order to improve for your next facilitation. To wrap up this video, you have learned how to prepare for a facilitation, what to do during a facilitation, and what you should do after the facilitation. Good luck on your future facilitations!